Hi everyone, this is Abby from Virtual Fashionista Gaming here in collaboration with the Cheeky Kea Charitable Trust. I actually am about to reveal my real name, so if you've been waiting for this, congratulations, you finally get to know who I actually am. My real name is Victoria Dreyer and I am an entrepreneur from New Zealand. I run a whole bunch of different things, including the charity known as Cheeky Kea. Cheeky Kea is a non-profit social organisation a social enterprise dedicated to helping the disabled and disadvantaged attain financial freedom through self driven and self managed career opportunities. Our URL will be down below the video, so feel free to click it and have a look at us. What we are doing is we are working to help people who are housebound or otherwise unable to perform a so called normal job. You can't see me making air quotes, I'm totally making air quotes here, but we're helping those housebound people to find their own careers. And one of the options that is available to such people is a platform known as Second Life, which I am about to give you guys a basic introduction to. So, what is my real name? My name is Victoria Dreyer. I prefer the name Abby because I just like the name Abby better, but either or, it's both me. Now, in collaboration with the charity that I run, we are going to present the video. Enjoy. Okay, so what is Second Life, you ask? Second Life is a virtual reality platform created by a company called Linden Labs. Second Life is, it's hard to explain. It's not really a game, it's more of a virtual world. Everything that you see in this world is created by other players. It has a real world economy powered by its own dollar, which is called the Linden dollar, which can be bought and sold via real world currencies on the stock exchange. So we've got a basic tools provided by the game, by Linden Labs, and everything else that you see is made by the players. So it can be a really, really powerful tool and also kind of a good way to make money if you're the creative sort. Now, as we're seeing here, we can see on the screen I'm on the Second Life website. To make an account, it's as simple as clicking sign up, and then you can, once it gets there, you can choose one of these default avatars to start with to make an account. It's going a little bit slow at the moment because I'm recording the video. So you can pick any one of these little people to start with. The thing with Second Life is that it is completely a sandbox. Everything that you do can be changed. You can do anything. You can go anywhere. You can be anyone. You can start the morning as this business lady here and end the day as a dragon, if you so desire. Now, the thing to remember about Second Life, there are a couple of things to be aware of. First of all, it is an adult platform, and so you should expect to be exposed to some kind of adult content. It's a platform that is run by the players, so there's no polite way to put it, but it's basically full of smut. You can fairly well avoid it if you just don't go into the seedier areas, but don't be surprised if you occasionally stumble across something that is not as appropriate as you might think. You can just learn to ignore it, really. Um, while Second Life is technically free to play, you should budget some spending money. Think of it like going to the mall. It's free to go there, but it's really boring without any money. I recommend budgeting at least $50 USD when you first start out just to get your avatar looking the way you want her to, or him. If you can't afford that, you can look at freebies. There are options in the world that some of them are pretty good too. I mean, look, these default avatars aren't that bad anymore. But it takes money to make money on Second Life, so you should probably go into it expecting to spend a fair amount of capital to start with. Um, the next point is that you will need a decent computer. You can run it on a lower end computer, but it's not going to be a fun experience, so I don't recommend it. And you also need a fair amount of technical skill as well. There are a lot of people on Second Life who know absolutely nothing about computers, but you will get a better experience if you go into it with a fair amount of knowledge to start with. So if you're not tech savvy, I recommend at least learning a little bit about how to maintain your computer before you begin, because otherwise you're going to have a bad time. In terms of what jobs you can actually do on Second Life, there are heaps of options. You can do everything from customer service for a shopkeeper to starting your own shop and learning to design, or you can breed kittens for a living, or uh, you can become a freelancer and rent out your skills. It's similar to the real world, and that there are heaps and heaps of options available. It's really only limited by your imagination. But let's have a look at the platform and I'll show you what we've got. So the first thing you want to be aware of before I even open the game is the Second Life Marketplace, because you're going to hear it a lot. The Second Life Marketplace is kind of like eBay for Second Life. You can buy just about anything you want, you can sell just about anything you want, and you can find heaps of inspiration just by browsing the categories here. For example, if we went to, you mentioned, or I mentioned, uh, pets earlier, breedables. Breedables are, there's more detail in the written script, but breedables are kind of like little animals that you can breed, and you might get rare traits which might be valuable. Like, for example, I breed cats. I'll show you in a second. My house is full of cats right now, and I just breed for cats for fun. But I got lucky at one stage and bred a cat that ended up being worth about $800 US. Totally unexpected. Very nice. Nice. It's all gone now, of course, but that was entertaining. But if you click on the breedables link, you can have a look at all the different options that are available. Like we can see, we've got the kitsune here, which are little foxes. We've got plants that you can grow. Uh, it's a little bit overwhelming at first because there are so many things. But you can have a look here. You can get breedable cats, dogs, chickens, dragons, lots of different things, horses. Those are one of the many options that are available. There's always clothing. I'm just a bit scared to click on the clothing icon because you can't filter out the adult content, and I don't really want to show you guys anything smutty in this video. So let's go. Oh no, the avatar components is just bad. What can I show you that isn't completely smutty? There's a lot of adult stuff on there. Okay, let's look at vehicles. That should be safe. So people make little cars and things, motorcycles, bicycles. All these things are made by other players, and every time someone buys them, it goes directly to the player. And don't freak out about the prices here either. The Linden dollar exchange rate is about $1 USD to 250 Lindens. So this wee bicycle here is $1 US. It's not nearly as terrifying as it looks from the numbers. Or like this little boat here is basically free. It's 1 Linden. It's called a freebie or a dollar B. But you've got like these motorcycles where you can ride around with your friends, cars, planes that you can fly, all kinds of things. Second Life, your imagination is the only thing that really limits you. And, um, well, I suppose I'll take you over to see the game now. Give you a brief look at my home in Second Life. Yes, it's full of cats. So many cats. This is one of the things I do is I breed these little kitty cats here and sell the children. Yeah, I've got a problem. It's breeding day, so that's why they're all out splattered around. They breed faster if they're out in the game itself. You've also got my avatar here, which you can see. That is my girl, all sci-fied up because that's my fashion sense. Um, Now I'll give you a brief rundown of the interface. I recommend you read through the description on the website because I wrote it out in quite a lot of detail. I'm not great at doing these video tutorials because I don't personally watch them very often. I'm doing my best to talk you through them. Once you've made an account, you need to download a browser. As you'll see, it's step 1, step 2, download a browser. Step 3 is log in and do the tutorial. Don't skip the tutorial. You really, really need it because Second Life is completely overwhelming to the new. Just trust me and just do the tutorial. You won't regret it. After that, I recommend spending the next few weeks just exploring the game. Just go to random places, talk to random people, see what people have done. I mean, this is just my house. I live on a barren beach with a small house full of cats, which is actually not dissimilar to my real life. Yes, that's true, I suppose. But there are heaps of things to do, places to see, and just to get used to the interface before you try and commit to anything that might end up making you frustrated. It is very overwhelming. Expect to log off a few times and just go have a panic attack in the corner. It's fairly normal. The first few times anyone goes on Second Life, they're completely overwhelmed and hated. Take a break, take a breather, maybe even take a week off, then come back and try it again. Every time you try it, it will be a little bit easier. Okay, let's have a quick look at the interface. We'll run you through it and show you what's going on. Now, there are multiple browsers that you can choose from. I do not use the default browser given by Linden Labs. I actually use Firestorm, which is a third-party browser. I find it easier to use. Now, you've got a customizable toolbar along the bottom here, which you can customize with different options. Just right click on it and click toolbar buttons, and then you can pick what's on here. These are the ones that I use the most often. Nearby chat will show you anything that's been said by a person near you, or in this case, my cat's talking to me repeatedly because well, it's kind of like real life, I guess. So this is nearby chat. If I say anything in here, this is something I've said, it will show up there. It'll also show up in a bubble over my head because I've enabled the text bubbles. Um, we've also got this tab here which will show you the groups that I'm in. Groups are um, sort of like they're groups of other players in the game who have common interests. For example, I've got pop-ups here from people who are interested in the kitty cats, which are those cats that I've got scattered all over my porch here. They can be very handy for communicating with other like-minded individuals. There are also stores that offer group gifts where they'll give away free stuff. Like, for example, you saw I was in Izzy's before. Izzy's recently offered free makeup at her store for people who are in her group. So I've downloaded that. You can click the different ones to have a look at what they say. Like, this is our group. You can double click it to chat on it, or you can click info and it'll tell you about the group. I actually need to put the info in here. I haven't put anything in here yet. One day I will. We've also got your friends list in here, which is quite important. This is the people that you know, the people that you want to talk to repeatedly. If you don't add people to your friends list without their permission, it's kind of rude and generally not well responded. But this is where you keep a list of the people that you want to have contacts with later. Okay, so you can click on any one of these to bring up their profile. Let's pick this one here. This is just one of my avatars. And you'll see you can read about her avatar there. You can see which places she likes. She doesn't actually like anything. You can see what she's interested in. She's just a robot, so she doesn't really have anything interesting going on. And you can also make notes on that avatar if you want to. I'm a robot. It's one of the robots that I used to have to run one of my shops back in the day. You can also access your own profile by going to avatar and clicking profile. This is what people will see when they click on my name, like I just clicked on Scullia Magic's name. So this is where you can see all about me and who I am and what I do. You can go to my pics. I have lots of pics, unlike the other one. And a little bit about my first life. This is me in a nutshell. This picture here, I have to admit, is a little bit inappropriate, but I haven't changed it because the friend who made this picture for me, he painted it for me. He's actually died, which is quite sad. So I haven't quite gotten around to changing that. I should put something more professional up there, but I just can't quite bring myself to delete the picture because it's the last thing I've got to remember my dead friend, which is kind of rough. As you can see, I've been on Second Life for 11 years, 7 months. So I've been playing this for longer than some children have been alive. And it's a pretty big part of my life still. I've been on and off it over the years. I drop off it and then I go back on it again. I always end up back in there eventually. But it is my second life. And it is a great way to meet people all over the world. I've met some of my long-term clients through here. I can socialize with friends and family who are out of town, and I can express myself creatively. Yeah, there are some basic building tools provided by the server, which if you click here, and you can just build basic stuff. Honestly, I would recommend taking a class in this rather than just going. I don't really want to do a whole video just on building. It would take forever. But I'm kind of out of touch in the building world, so it's probably better to take a class in the world. You've also got the search area. Let's see, what else have I got? Sort of losing track of what I'm saying at the moment. It's quite late at night when I'm recording this. What else have I got? All these things down here that are useful to me. Inventory. Oops, no, that's not inventory. Inventory, which is where I keep all my stuffs. This is where all my clothing lives. And my one thing I should say that is kind of hard to get used to on Second Life is that every part of the avatar is customizable completely. Like this girl right here, as you can see her, I can remove her head if I so desire. Detach head. oh, I can take off her hair. In this case, I clicked the wrong thing. But you can detach any part of this and replace it with another component. So you can take off her entire everything. You can detach her skull if you really want to. Now it's going to work. There we go. And now my eyeballs are sticking out, and it's totally creepy. But every part of this is customizable, so you can replace it with another component, which is super creepy to start with. But once you get used to it, it's pretty awesome. I just got to figure out where I put my head. Hang on. Today on things you only say on Second Life. I think that's my base avatar. There we go. Put my avatar back together. So you can purchase items that you like. You can purchase hair, clothing, skin, cats, houses. Everything you see here is something that I have either made myself or purchased off another player. Honestly, mostly it's purchased off another player at this point. I don't really make stuff anymore. I used to, but then it got kind of complicated. What else is there? Movement controls. These are really important. You can. Where do you see them? I can't remember. Hang on. First tab, avatar, movement controls, camera controls. Make sure these are ticked on because you will use them. You can control your avatar simply by using the arrow keys, which I am showing you, even though I just realized that you can't actually see that I'm using the arrow keys. You can use the arrow keys on your keyboard to move your avatar around. Why is she not walking properly? I think I'm blagged. She's just sort of skating along instead of actually stepping. I think it's because of the video recorder. But you can use these to move the camera, which can be quite handy if you want to line up and take a photo. Just click the little buttons here and move the camera around. You can use these to physically move your avatar. You can also fly in most regions. Some regions you can't fly. This is not looking great. What's happening here? Why is it so slow? I don't know. It must be the upload. I don't have enough internet for this. But yeah, that is basically Second Life. There is a lot more, as you can see, there is a lot more here that I haven't been able to show you in this video. I might make another video later on showing you more of the details about like how mesh works and such. But to give you a basic feel of the game, this is what Second Life is. It's a platform. It's not even really a game, to be honest. It's a virtual world. It's full of other people. I mean, look at all these people here chatting away. All these different people talking about goodness knows what, because I'm not reading it right now. But there have been rumors for the last 10 years that Linden Labs is going to shut down and that Second Life is dying, but there is actually no sign whatsoever of that happening. If anything, Second Life is thriving more than it ever has before. I don't think at this stage that it's likely that this platform is going to go under, so it is a fairly decent bet that any investments you make in the platform will be there for some time to come at least. It's well worth looking into it if you decide that you want to have a go. Like I said, though, do the tutorial because otherwise you're going to be completely overwhelmed and you're going to end up hating it. But if you don't end up hating it, feel free to join the Cheeky Kea Printworks group or the Cheeky Kea group that I haven't actually made yet. Just look up Cheeky Kea in the groups once you figure out how and ask for an invite or send me a message in World. My username is currently, I think it's Abigail Hawk. You can get me under Abigail Hawk once you figure out how to send messages, or Scar Iris is my other name, which is my avatar's birth name. Either of those will reach me. So to find me, you would just go to the search engine up here, click the little button that looks like a magnifying glass, go to people and type in, I can't spell my own name, Scar Iris, Scarayres. That will find my profile. You can send me a message. I might actually crash the game if I try to send myself a message, so I'm not going to do that. Or you can add me as a friend, but I would prefer if you messaged me first because I don't usually add random friends to my list. I've had some issues with, people who are not so friendly, so got to be a bit careful of that. And other than that, that's all I can think of right now. But once I figure out how to not be quite so lagged while recording videos, I'll come back and show you guys a bit more of the world.